Welcome back to the Corridor channel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how hard it is to start your own SaaS product, but at the same time, watching for these three important things before you get started. Let's get into it. There's so much that goes into each startup. It's not easy to do. And it becomes really critical to do those right things right off the bat so that you can make sure you avoid the problems in the future. A lot of entrepreneurs that don't have guidance or don't have the coach and mentorship struggle with this aspect because what they do is they make decisions based on today's knowledge rather than understanding the full scope and how that can affect their business in the long term. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the three things that you need to really watch out for to make sure you're making decisions for the long term rather than for the short term. When we start talking to startups, a lot of times what has happened is that they're on the brink of cash flow issues, they're having product issues, and we're really there to try to help them and save them from what situation they're already in. But we decided we should do an episode and help you guys understand what things you need to watch out for before you even get to that level. And it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with us, but overall, you need to understand these three major make or break situations that will help you drive your company into the future and growth. One of the companies that we've worked with, for example, spent thousands of dollars product development and really trying to understand what needs to get done and without really having the knowledge of product development, which led them to basically mishandle the product development side of things. Because keep in mind, whoever you hire to do it, for example, we really take pride in our product development. So when we work with our clients, we really take pride in that. We believe that our product, our success is their success, which is why some service providers do not feel that same way. So make sure you really vet them because at the end of the day, these guys are just there for a paycheck. So your success is not necessarily their success. Went through 3 phases of the product development and at the end of the day, really didn't have much to show for it. And developers are great at mentioning backend as the, that is truly what takes the longest time. But at the end of the day, the front end is such a critical aspect that even if you don't finish it, you still need to understand what this thing is even gonna look like. So after working with them, we decided to pump out this video and really show what are the 3 major parts of SaaS startups that are make or break. The first make or break subject matter is product development. You knew it was coming, you know what we do, that's what I wanna talk to you about. Product development is one of those major critical aspects that any SaaS startup is gonna be working on no matter what. That's the whole point. Your entire product, your entire business revolves around the product. You need to have more attention on the product than anything else in the entire business. Because at the end of the day, bad product equals a bad business. So there are some major things you need to watch for when you're looking at developing your product. One is understanding your target market. You are starting a business. Thus, you know who you're gonna be targeting and what you're going to be selling. But the second part of that is understanding your objective of the product. What are you trying to achieve with the product? Not only do you need to know your target, you also need to know what the results should be. This will help you in the long term significantly because then you're able to actually take it back to your dev team and make them understand, guys, this is what we're trying to achieve. This is the goal. If they don't have that, all they're gonna be looking at is your little feature sets that you got. And that doesn't help them understand the big picture of the product. Whenever we work with our clients, the first thing we do is try to understand what objective they're trying to achieve so that we can base our entire design and our entire development around that objective. The second part to make or break is the go-to-market strategy. You have to have a go-to-market strategy. A lot of times what happens is startups will come to us and say, here's our product, we know it's going to sell, we're so confident, we're gonna have this many signups right off the bat. It just doesn't happen that way. It's very unrealistic. You can build as many rat traps as you want, but it doesn't mean that customers are gonna come flocking your way to try to buy it. You have to understand, no matter how good your product is, you still need a go-to-market strategy in order to make the product a success. So make sure while you're developing your go-to-market strategy, you really hone in on what the true value proposition is, which by the way, you take from the objective of the product, and build out your value proposition to the point where you guys can actually sit down as a team and be able to hit home every single person that is a potential client and be able to give them a 20-second elevator pitch, no problem. We at Corridor always started with, we help who and what do we do for them. That is the easiest way to be able to explain what it is that you do. My background at Corridor is the founder. I'm the CEO, and I can do every part of the business, but I graduated from marketing. So I can tell you how important a go-to-market strategy truly is. The final part to the make or break is the approach at an early stage. A lot of people believe that they have to build a product before they even have sales, which isn't necessarily true. You can actually go out and sell a wireframe to a client. Clients are more than happy to buy a product from just a simple design. Focus on pre-sales. Pre-sales can really save you, especially when the product is launched. That way you have some testing users and you have some beta testing that has happened where you can actually perfect the product further. Now, another point when I say pre-sale, a lot of people say, well, who's gonna buy a product that's not built? It's very simple. If your value proposition is strong enough, they will buy it because guess what? There isn't anything else out there for them to be able to solve their problem. So make sure you're really pushing on that problem solving aspect of your target market. The second part to this section is the team. When you're developing a team, you gotta really be careful who you're bringing on. A lot of factors can play into who you're hiring, but one major aspect that I'll tell every single startup and everyone that we worked with is when you're hiring people or bringing founders onto your team, make sure that they're early stage startup type people. These kind of people need to wear multiple hats. They need to be able to work long hours. They cannot be in a situation where they're sitting there going, well, I'm done at 5 o'clock. Bye guys, I don't care what happens from here on out. They have to care. In order for your original team to really drive success for your startup, you need them to all care. And they need to be at a stage where they can do multiple aspects of a business rather than a single position. So when you're hiring, for example, a CTO, make sure you hire a CTO that understands product development, understands coding, understands team development, understands all these different aspects of their role, because at the end of the day, without that, they're not going to be successful. When you're hiring a sales guy, make sure they understand marketing, make sure they understand networking, make sure they understand cold calling, cold emailing, whatever it is, they have to be able to do multiple things. Do not hire people on a single role. It is very challenging to try to grow with just a single role application because you're just paying way too much for that same person that can be wearing multiple hats. Once you've done all that, then you want to build your pitch deck. And your pitch deck realistically is your objective, what your team looks like, everything put into a single document where you can now present that document to any future clients, any future investors, angels, whoever it is that you're trying to target. But that also becomes your roadmap. That becomes your business plan. So make sure you actually spend the time on your pitch deck. It goes a long way, especially when you can reflect on it and have it answer some of the questions you're going to have throughout your process. Now you guys know what you can do and what parts you need to focus on in order to avoid the make or break situations and really plan for the future rather than plan for today. If you have any other comments or would like to tell us about your experience, please leave a comment down below. Smash that like button. Subscribe for more of these educational videos. Until next time, Corridor out.